when he reflected on his rival's career in a BBC interview in 2019. Why did such a prized revolutionary decide to become one of the world's most despised dictators? He asked. But it's also a lesson to many of us, knowing that we are saying what President Museveni was saying when he was in our times. And also to remember that it is only the idea of building strong institutions that can save us from ourselves. The comparisons between a younger Mr. Museveni, charismatic, energetic, and inspiring, with today's Bobi Wine are hard to escape. The rebel commander was just 41 years old when he seized power, promising Ugandans security, a stronger economy, and a better future. Some do wonder whether his new challenger, full of idealism and populist rhetoric, might not make the same mistakes. Activist Cypriea Mali Sasarabo, 24, who says she is now in political exile in Kenya, is disillusioned with Bobi Wine. In 2019, she became the face of student protests over a fee hike at Makerere University. For that, she was abducted by people she believed were plainclothes soldiers, badly beaten, and left barely conscious. He lacks an ideology. At the end of that year, she briefly joined Bobi Wine's party, but left because of what she saw as a lack of ideological grounding. He was asked about his economic system when he is president, she says, referring to a July 2020 interview Bobi Wine gave to a local radio station. He was asked whether he was on the left or the right of the ideological setting, and his answer was he was neither on the right or the left, and he will just use what works. It just does not make sense for me. Apart from the large crowds that gather to support him, like the one in Kanoni, it is hard to tell how truly popular he is and whether the cheers will be turned into votes. Data on registered voters and their voting patterns are very limited. Francis Kiberich, national coordinator for the Afrobarometer survey in Uganda, has been carrying out opinion polls and studies in Uganda since 2000. He says the question remains as to whether Bobi Wine has done enough to transcend opposition politics and chip away at the huge vote that President Museveni and the NRM have gained in previous elections. He argues that NRM supporters see the party and the president as the guarantor of peace, and Bobi Wine's NUP has not done enough to persuade them otherwise. Just as in most of the previous 5 elections under Mr. Museveni, this one has been marred by allegations of violence against the opposition, press and civil society activists. In November, at least 54 people were left dead after police and soldiers moved in to break up protests over Bobi Wine's arrest. In this context, there are some who are already questioning the validity of the vote. Bobi Wine, however, has encouraged people to cast their ballots and says voters should make sure there is no rigging at polling stations. He is under no illusion that unseating Mr. Museveni will be easy. While we know that we are up against a brute force, we are confident, he told the BBC in a 2020 interview. We are confident because the people of Uganda are on our side. And we are confident because history is on our side. Who is Bobi Wine? Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is better known by his stage name Bobi Wine, is a former musician who took Ugandan politics by storm after winning a parliamentary seat in Kayodondo East by a landslide in 2017. The following year, the 38-year-old announced he would